The meat sizzles on the fire. The smell is familiar but wrong. You take a bite, and your body betrays you with hunger. It tastes like victory and death at once. You don't know whose flesh it was. You only know it's keeping you alive. Subscribe to Think What If for more stories that push your imagination to the edge. The world collapsed 6 months ago. Crops failed, animals died, and the cold came early. At first, people tried to share. Then, they tried to steal. Now, they hunt. You look down at your trembling hands, red and raw, and ask yourself what you've become. Could you survive on nothing but human flesh? Could anyone? You start with science. Human meat is mostly water and protein, about 1,300 calories per pound. A starving body can live on that for a while. It even provides essential amino acids. But it's missing key nutrients like vitamin C and calcium. The longer you eat it, the weaker you get. Your muscles fade, your bones are thin, your heart slows. Survival turns into slow-motion decay. And then there's the mind. The moment your teeth sink into the meat of your own kind, something ancient wakes up. A primal switch flips. You taste fear in every bite. You can't sleep because you hear chewing in your dreams. How many times could you eat before your reflection stopped looking human? The snow outside never ends. You drag another body into the cabin. You tell yourself it's just food now, stripped of name or story. But when you carve the skin, you remember the way this person spoke, the way they looked at you before the hunger took over. The knife shakes. You can't look away. The mind knows it's wrong, but the body doesn't care. It only knows hunger. Hunger always wins. You wonder how it began. Maybe with a stranded expedition, like the Donner Party in 1846, trapped in the mountains and driven mad by cold. Maybe with a plane crash, like the Andes survivors in 1972, who made a pact to eat the dead to live another day. History shows us that morality bends when death breathes on your neck. What would you do then? The first few meals are easy to justify. You tell yourself it's survival, not murder. You choose those already gone. You choose to live. But survival feeds on habit. Soon, you stop waiting for death to decide. You start hunting. You start calculating. The strong taste of cooked flesh becomes normal. You stop gagging. That's when the real transformation begins. Your brain changes. Studies show that repeated exposure to human protein can trigger diseases like Kuru, a fatal brain disorder once found among tribes that practiced ritual cannibalism. The brain turns on itself, neurons collapsing like dominoes. Victims laughed uncontrollably before they died, their nervous system shredded from within. Could that happen again if the world starved enough to turn back to flesh? You build a fire from broken furniture and bones. The fat drips and pops, and the air smells like roasted pork. You eat in silence, eyes fixed on the flickering light. You tell yourself you can stop any time, but you know it's a lie. Hunger has no brakes. Once it finds a path, it devours everything in its way. You look at your hand, still trembling. You whisper, "Just this once." But it's never just once. You begin to notice something strange. Your senses sharpen. The faintest sound, the slightest movement in the dark. Your heartbeat slows, your pupils widen. You've become something else, something built for a world where only predators remain. The meat changes you. You feel more alive than ever, yet more dead than you've ever been. You wonder if evolution could start again, one bite at a time. Hunger always wins. You repeat the words like a prayer, though you don't know who you're praying to anymore. You move through the empty streets, past burned houses and frozen cars. The cities are silent now, their lights long gone. But somewhere you can hear others, breathing, searching, waiting. You're not the last, you're the next. You find a survivor, thin, pale, eyes wild with fear. You see yourself reflected in them. They beg for mercy, but mercy is a luxury of full stomachs. You feel the knife's weight in your hand. The air tastes like iron. The world has turned inside out. Who is the animal now? Days blur. The line between hunter and prey dissolves. You stop counting the bodies. You stop speaking. You live by instinct, not thought. But deep inside, something fights back. A memory, the sound of laughter, the smell of bread, the feeling of sunlight. Small, fragile things that remind you of what you once were. Can you come back from this? Can anyone? Your body starts to fail. The constant protein burns your kidneys. The lack of vitamins eats your nerves. Your teeth ache from gnawing bones. You try to drink water, but it doesn't help. You see faces in the dark. You hear voices whispering your name. Every night they ask the same question. Was it worth it? You look around and see a world without plants, without animals, without life. Only humans feeding on humans. The circle closes. There's no one left to eat. You stare at your reflection in a cracked mirror and realize what the final stage of survival looks like. You are the end of the food chain. The hunger doesn't stop. You carve what's left of yourself, piece by piece, because it's the only thing left to consume. The pain is sharp, then distant, then gone. The body feeds the body. The circle completes. You are both predator and prey. And then, quiet. The fire burns out. The snow covers the last footprints. The earth exhales. In the stillness, a question lingers, heavier than the silence itself. If survival means losing everything that makes you human, is it still survival? Somewhere far away, life begins again. Grass grows. Animals return. The earth heals, as it always does. But your story remains, buried beneath ice and ash, a warning carved in bone. Hunger always wins. Hunger always wins. Hunger always wins. Subscribe to Think What If for more worlds you should never forget.